All right, on today's show, we're going to be exploring some important Facebook updates for marketers, including the Instagram feature, broadcast channels finally rolling out to Facebook pages, but not all of them. But the cool thing is it seems to have some features that they don't even have on Instagram. So if you're Facebook centric, that's always fun to go, oh, hey, we're getting something first. That's nice. Meta is testing some new ad placements that will probably annoy consumers because they always do, but they may be amazing for marketers. So we'll tell you what those are that you can watch for possibly in the near future. And some pages insights are going away soon. So I remember from when I worked at an agency, it's like, okay, got to prepare the monthly report for insights and all of that and send it to the boss or the client or whatever it might be. We want to update you on that so that you can prepare for that just in case one of those insights you are currently using will be going away here in the next 60 days or so. My name is Jerry Potter. Yes, it rhymes with the boy Wizard, host of the Social Media Marketing Talk Show, where we break down all the latest social media news and what it means for marketers like you. So let's talk first about broadcast channels. Broadcast channels are coming to Facebook business pages. And if you're not familiar with them on Instagram, they describe it as a one-to-many platform. And so it's kind of like its own, I don't know if you'd call it a feed, but it shows up with the direct messages. So on Instagram, you have your primary inbox, your general inbox for people that are theoretically less important. And then you have this broadcast channels tab, and you could subscribe to certain profiles and they send out information. You can't reply, you can like it, or like you can, react with the emojis, and that's about it. So they call it a one-to-many channel. That being said, there's certainly tons of app opportunities for it. If you're also thinking, oh my gosh, another place I have to worry about posting. We don't have to jump on these things the moment they come out, but consider maybe doing a short-term one. So for example, when I had one for Instagram, I love to find like Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals last year. So I just set up one that I ran for 10 days where I just shared deals that I found with people. And so, that might be another way to approach it. But here's what's to know. With the Facebook business page rollout, they are supposed to be out globally for all Facebook business pages with at least 10,000 followers, okay? So that's what qualifies as being eligible. I'm sure if you have page strikes or some other things, if you manage one of those pages, there may be some other eligibility, but that's the main thing. Should be available everywhere if you have more than 10,000 followers. If you have a profile on Facebook that uses professional mode, then that is going to be rolling out to people with more than 10,000 followers on their personal profile in professional mode. They're just saying in the coming months. So, which to me feels like by the end of the year, but sometimes Facebook tends to, or Meta tends to extend those deadlines. So, a couple things that are more unique here. One, if you have a broadcast channel that you create on Facebook and you have one on Instagram, you will be able to share the channel messages from Instagram to Facebook. So if you already have one that you're running on Instagram, you can connect your page and just have them automatically come over. So that's nice. That obviously didn't exist before because the broadcast channels weren't on both platforms. So they're giving us that right from the get-go. And then the other thing is that, and I haven't seen this on Instagram, for people who subscribe to your broadcast channel on Facebook, you'll be able to share Facebook posts to the channel members before anyone else as an exclusive perk for channel members to collect early feedback on content. Now, what I just said is pretty close to the exact words that Meta used when they announced that. They didn't get more specific than that. So I don't know if it's like you're going to be able to schedule, a post and then say, hey, do you want to send this to the broadcast channel first? And then if you do that, then you'll have to come back and remember to add it to the feed. Or if you'll say, yes, share it to the broadcast channel for 48 hours, then add it to the feed. So all of that information will be coming. But if you already have a broadcast channel on Instagram and you have a Facebook business page with over 10,000 followers that you manage, it feels like a no-brainer to go in and get this turned on right away. They have not said if they'll bring it to smaller pages or not. So we'll see, but they did, open it up pretty widespread over on Instagram. All right, some new ad placements that are probably going to annoy consumers, as all new ad placements generally do. Although I kind of like this one. We'll tell you about that here in just a second. Might be great for marketers. By the way, if you have been going through 2024 so far, feeling like you're guessing and trying to play catch up and everything like that, I want you to imagine knowing what marketing strategies or tactics will work without having to spend the time or the money on trial and error. Like you could pull back the curtain on a bunch of other marketers and businesses and see exactly how to implement the strategies. Well, This is what happens when you come and join us for Social Media Marketing World. Laura Kaslow was somebody that came and she said, this was honestly the best conference I've attended in my professional life. Find out what it's all about. Get your ticket today. Just go to socialmediamarketing.world. All right. Socialmediamarketing.world. It's going to be here before you know it. All right. New ad placements that Meta is testing. Now, I want to first share an unofficial one and then an official one. The unofficial one that I've just heard from talking to people is that they are putting ad placements within people's profiles. Now, I don't think this is a placement that you can choose in Ads Manager, but essentially it used to be you would go to a Facebook profile and you could scroll through somebody's posts or their history and there wouldn't be any ads, right? Well, now they are sprinkling those in. Feels like Groups is probably right behind that. Some of these, it feels like, wow, I can't believe they waited this long. You know, they're obviously a company trying to make money. But the one that we've gotten confirmation that is being tested, and this is not one I saw coming, is putting ads in users' notifications list. So you get the notifications, you get that red circle, tells you how many notifications you have, you click on it, and now instead of just all the updates from the places that you follow, there will actually be ads within there that you can click on. And they look just like the other ones with two, I would say, notable exceptions. One, it says sponsored underneath. So it just looks, you know, it has that little tag because I think legally they're required to have that. And two, you'll probably look at it and say, why am I seeing an update from this bank or from this sports team that I don't follow, or, you know, whoever else might be using it? So that's kind of the consumer perspective on that. The neat thing, though, is from an advertising perspective, I think anytime you can jump in and get it on a new placement, if you get access to this, it can be really, really effective because we haven't developed, as consumers, we haven't developed banner blindness to it. So banner blindness is basically where you don't notice anything anymore. It's how you can go to a blog post and read the whole thing and never even glance at an ad, really. And so once something becomes very commonplace, then it doesn't grab attention as much anymore. So there's that opportunity there, but it looks just like a regular post. So for example, if somebody ran one from a page that I followed, I would just assume I was getting a notification because it was a popular post from a page that I followed. So other than that little sponsored tag, that's pretty much all that's there. So it's just in testing. Don't know if it'll roll out widespread, but obviously Meta is looking for more places to capitalize, either to make more money or maybe to kind of change some things up. We'll see what happens there. So, all right. Meta is also rolling out an API, which will be really helpful for all of us that use third-party tools. If you use a third-party tool to boost posts, they are rolling out something, basically the Instagram Boost Signals project, they're calling it, for partners and advertisers to determine whether the media is eligible to be boosted as an ad. And so the way this is going to work is you'll hopefully see more information around this inside of your third-party tools. And that way, you know, because sometimes you will be in a third-party tool and it will say, hey, you can't boost this, and it doesn't really give you any the way of knowing why. So my understanding is this is going to make that much, much more clear. And beyond that, it's a lot of developer speak that goes above my knowledge level. So, all right, another test. This is an unconfirmed test as far as Meta is concerned, but multiple people have seen it. And it's not too surprising because this was originally spotted on Instagram back in April. And they are testing what they call clear mode for reels and videos on Facebook. So what does that mean? Clear mode means nothing's on the screen but the video. So from a consumer perspective, this is beautiful, right? It's exactly what we would want. And on YouTube, you know, if you think back to the OG of online video watching, we've always had that, right? You can hover over the screen and get more information. You can have stuff around the screen, but you've always been able to watch a video full screen on YouTube with nothing else there. It's something that TikTok has also played with. So we'll see if it ends up rolling out, you know, in a big way. But I think the most important thing to kind of keep in mind here is as you're thinking about your reels and other videos, you can't count on the caption being available at the bottom. You can't count on the like button or the share button being available on the right side as you're watching, you know, for the reel screen, those different things like that. So if this rolls out and becomes common, I know on TikTok it was kind of an option, but if it rolls out and becomes common, then calls to action like, tap that like button on the lower right, trying to picture it from both sides. Yeah, different things like that aren't going to be relevant anymore. So just keep that in mind in case that is part of your scripting when you make your videos and different things like that on Facebook. And if you do a lot of reporting for clients or for the boss, if you're the marketing director for somebody or anything like that, Facebook is getting rid of some of the page insights, the metrics that are part of their API that goes out to third-party tools. So when I worked at an agency and over the years, I've used different third-party tools, and they will take the data straight from Facebook that they get through this API on the back end, and they'll turn them into these beautiful reports. The ultimate, the celebration when I was at the agency was always like, you generate a report from whatever tool you were using, and the client would look at it and go, wow, this is amazing. Thank you for putting all this effort in. And that you have the software that just cranks it out. Well, some of that stuff is going away. They're explaining that this is going to be part of getting rid of the old page experience. I don't think they ever called it that, but obviously, they've been rolling out the new pages experience for the last few years. So those are going to be going away. I don't know how it's going to look in some of these third-party tools. My guess is that if you have a template where it already shows up in a certain row, it'll show up blank, or maybe the third-party tool will give you a warning that says, hey, this is not relevant anymore, remove it, or something like that. But just be aware in case you just generate and send. Make sure you check stuff here starting very, very soon. Officially, it's going to start it's going to be completely gone starting on September 16th. And by the way, the number of metrics that's going away is extensive. And if you've started generating your report metrics anytime in the last few months, or maybe even this year, may not affect any of this. But if you've been using the same report for years and years and years, definitely worth going back and checking those before or just after September 16th, maybe for your September data that you might pull on October 1st, just to make sure that everything is where it should be. All right. Just a quick reminder, you can have the best year of your life if you come and join us at Social Media Marketing World. Learn about an all-access ticket right now. Go to socialmediamarketing.world. socialmediamarketing.world. And if you enjoy this and want to add another podcast to your listening lineup, we've got two for you to check out: the Social Media Marketing Podcast, as well as the AI Explored Podcast. Get those wherever you happen to listen to your podcasts. And until next time, may you be wise with your marketing decisions. Thanks, everyone. Bye.